Today we're going to be having a look at the Crisis ship designs, the new Cosmogenesis Crisis that allows us to get Fallen Empire ships. We're going to have a look at some of those designs and some counter builds to that. But what you need to keep in mind with these battles and the results is that their fleets may not be applied correctly in this situation because Crisis can be impacted by the Crisis level that you set your game at. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these results. These results are sort of how to build your fleet. And while we may win the battles, you might need 2 of these fleets or 3 of these fleets to beat 1 of these fleets if you're playing on a higher Crisis difficulty level. So just keep that in mind when you're watching these battles. All right, so here we've got 40 escort ships, which is this design. 40 of our Fallen Empire escort ships. I'll show you in the ship designer where they are. Here we go. So you've got, this is our design. So it's just an escort ship, the first second level of the Crisis. But we're going to be running with 2 levels of kinetic artillery, 4 missiles, bunch of flak, bunch of PD. We've got, at this level, we've got level 5 armor and 4 slots, 2 shields, level 5, running with afterburners. Got some dark matter power, dark matter thrusters, and that's all I've used at this level. There will be higher tech levels coming as we progress further in the Crisis and a few other battles. But at this level, I'm just saying we've got this level of technology for now. You could always wait till you've got dragon scale armor and dark matter shields and all this other type of stuff. There's also another type of escort you can use with torpedoes, which I do have that here, another design. We're going to test that one in a minute. You note the hull points 1000, armor 2900, shields 1100, evasion is 90% due to double afterburners. So they should be pretty hard to hit. 1320 alloys each. Now opposing this, we're going to have our, and we've got 40 of them. The reason I picked 40 of them is because that's roughly about 51,000 alloys, because it's 228k in firepower. So I said it's a lot of firepower. And that's about the same alloys as this fleet is to make. And what I've done with this fleet, let's look at the composition. I've taken, it's our fleet we've used in some of our other videos. Taken it down a couple levels and 2 levels in the battleship. You did have 10 in previous battles. 1 number in all of the cruisers. It used to be 9. Destroyers, I've taken it down 3. And with all those spare points, I've added in 34 corvettes to provide a bit more screening. The corvettes will be running point defense and disruptors. More standard other stuff, swarms, combat computers. The destroyers are all disruptors. We have picket combat computers. They can get in there and do some damage to those escort ships. That's the role of these 2. Cruisers, torpedo, devastator torpedoes, disruptor cruisers like we've seen in our other battles. With actually picket combat computers I've decided to use this time. Instead of closing to torpedo range, I'm going to try picket combat computers and see if that helps with the combat computers with some of the bugs we get with these cruisers not closing to enough range to use their torpedoes quite often. So these are both 30 range weapons, so we think they should close enough. We'll see how it goes. The swarm of missiles and carrier cruiser with a bit of flak and point defense. As you've seen them previously with artillery combat computers, so they stay in range to use their missiles. Then we've got our artillery battleship. We're sticking with this design because we are up against fast escorts and some extra disruptors may help. The kinetic artillery is probably have a hard time hitting these type of ships, along with the focused arc emitters, tracking 0%, so that might be a problem. And just our Titan, no changes to the Titan. All right, let's jump in and see if we can get a victory or not, or where we get obliterated.
We're under attack. Time to dance.
Down, okay. They've lost 3 escorts already. That's a good sign. Firepower's dropping quick because each ship is just so powerful. You see all the disruptors firing everywhere. Hard to see who is who in this. Let's just pause and see what the damage is getting done by the weapons. The small phase eruptors are getting through to the hull. Kinetic artillery, surprisingly, is actually doing a lot of damage. The DPS is actually hitting those 90% evading escorts. Kinetic artillery smashing the shields as expected. Marauder missiles doing a fair bit. Like we are actually winning this fight. They're going down quite quickly. Just a sheer number of ships, I think. Just see all the disruptors are just killing them. Even though they got quite a lot of hull. Down to 4.2. That's it. That's the retreated fleet. So they lost 15 escorts. So even though they've still got more firepower than us, there you can just see the hull difference. Look at the hull. I'll zoom right in there. It's probably about 50% or less. The shields and armor still not too bad. But you look at the hull strength on this fleet, pretty high up. So it was mostly the disruptors that did a lot of damage there through to the actual hull. So these escorts did not last long. They just don't have enough hull strength. So even though if you're playing the Crisis, just keep this in mind that if you're just running all escorts early in the game, you can be very susceptible to well-rounded fleets and vulnerable, even though you may have superior technology and similar fleet strength or fleet strength in terms of alloys anyway. But in this type of ship, you're going to have to outnumber your enemy. You'd probably want to come in here of at least 80 versus this fleet. You can see how little losses they've actually taken. Just have a look here. So we've taken nearly no losses. 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser, 2 cruisers in total. No battleships, no Titans, no corvettes. Wow. How effective was that? So that's a very effective fleet against this what is effectively a fallen empire ship. And their losses were 15 escorts at a cost of nearly 20,000 alloys. Ours was just 2,000 alloys, so very effective. So, all right, let's test the other escort ship and see how we go in that fight. Okay, for this fight, we've still got our same combination fleet here with no changes to the ship design at all. Same makeup, same numbers, same ship classes, exactly the same. In opposition to that, we've got our other escort ship. So this design, we're running with 3 Devastator torpedoes, a couple of autocannons, a couple of plasma, and a bit of flak and PD. It's the same setup with 4 lots of armor, 2 lots of shield, double afterburners. We're using torpedo combat computers this time, so they should close right in. Hopefully do some extra damage with those Devastator torpedoes. Let's see how the battle pans out. I still expect this fleet to lose, just because they don't have enough numbers. And this fleet's a little bit more expensive. It's about 55,000. It's about 4,000 alloys more than this fleet. So let's see how it pans out.
Mixing it up with a hostile fleet.
Closing right in. Torpedoes away. Yeah, the torpedoes have done some damage there. Not a huge amount. Lost quite a few. Oh, we just met someone in the middle of a battle. Thank you. Lost quite a few destroyers. Down to 15. Actually doing more damage, but we're taking more loss. Staying in the fight longer too. Down to 50k. Those corvettes are just sticking around doing quite a good job. Although I think we've lost quite a few of them. I think quite a few have retreated. We're having trouble killing the escorts. Still a few left. I think that was a retreated fleet right there. All right, so we've lost... How many fleets, ships have we lost there? We only lost 5 corvettes. We lost 10 destroyers. 6 cruisers there. 3 there, so 9 in total. No battleships, no Titans. They're not making it through all of these screening ships, really, to get through to the battleships and Titan. That would cost us over 13,000. And we did lose a couple more. I think it was about 20 or 21 escorts. So it probably would have been about 24,000 alloys to repair that fleet. You can see that fleet did more damage. Certainly took more losses. Certainly did more damage to this group of cruisers here and this group of cruisers. More destroyers. But still not that effective. You need a lot more numbers of these ships to be able to win, or at least higher technology You need some more of those technologies in the Crisis. I should show you that as well. Crisis. So I'm up to level 3 to use Battlecruisers next, but it's, you need to unlock some more technology to get the higher weapons and shields, armor to use to help you with strengthening these escorts up. So don't get carried away thinking escorts going to rule the galaxy. They're not enough. All right, let's move on to the next battle. Okay, so for this fight, we are mixing it up a little bit. We're adding in Battlecruisers, Fallen Empire Battlecruisers. So I've reduced the amounts of escorts from 40 down to 24 and included 6 Battlecruisers, Enigma class Battlecruisers. So we'll just have a look at that design. Is this one here. So I'm going with double focused arc emitters, 2 hangar bays, 2 lots of artillery, 4 swarmer missiles, and we're still using our level 5 armor. We've added dark matter shields in now, so we've increased the technology level. We've kept all this the same. We are using carrier combat computer to try and stay out of range, use our long range weapons more, and try and stay that does not take as much damage from all their screening ships. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. If we're still doing enough damage, or if we're staying too far out of range to support our escort ships, which remain the same. We're not going with a different type of escort at this time. We've gone running with our Devastator ones, the ones which were more effective in the last engagement, and we have put dark matter shields on the escort ships now. Let's give them a little bit more shield strength. Torpedo combat computers, dark matter power. No other changes there. And this fleet is exactly the same. We haven't changed anything to this fleet. This fleet remains the same throughout the entire series of battles. There's no changes to this design whatsoever.
We're under attack. Time to dance.
See the strike craft launching there. Long range weapons firing there. Already lost 1 escort. They've lost a lot of destroyers straight away. At least 10. Lost 3 escorts. They're closing to the battlecruisers. Most of the fleet's going after the battlecruisers. So we are taking more losses there. A lot of hull strength gone though. So we've lost the battlecruiser. Where are the battlecruisers? They're in the mix now. Firing away. 2 battlecruisers down. Firepower is dropping quite quickly. Probably a lot of ships have actually retreated. We're doing more damage, but just not keeps automatically zooming in. I think that was a retreated fleet, actually. So we're just not doing enough damage with these Fallen Empire ships. It seems like the scrolling is more twitchy since the machine rate update. Just keeps doing it for some reason. Might have to adjust the settings. Let's have a look at the fleet losses on our fleet. No corvettes. We did lose 10 destroyers. Why are they not trying to kill the corvettes? But we're losing 10 destroyers. 2 cruisers there. 1 cruiser, 3 cruisers. And this time we did lose a couple of battleships as well. That's probably the focused arc emitters. That's probably the focused arc emitters doing the damage there, targeting longer range. So we did lose a bunch more ships there when they retreated. But I can't really calculate that now. But yeah, still, it was pretty heavily a victory on this side, even though we deployed a dark matter shielding for this fleet on this battle. So yeah, this fleet's just not as strong. So I think we're going to up things another level for the next fight. This fight, we've upped the crisis level. We are now crisis level 4, so we can have Titans as well as the battlecruisers, and we have got access to some new weaponry as well. We've added a Titan in here. The mix, I did just increase the fleet size for this. So this fleet is now getting significantly more expensive in terms of alloys, and that's what you'll notice when you become this crisis, is that your ships are very alloy expensive. And I expect if you become the crisis, you're probably building all those nice Fallen Empire buildings and boosting your economy to be able to afford that anyway. But this just provides a nice context in terms of somewhat relatively even fleet. This fleet is now well and truly outgunned in terms of alloys expanded. We're probably at least 10 to 15,000 more alloys now of this fleet to fight that fleet. Let's have a look at our Titan that we've now got fighting for us. There we go. You can see how many stats of weapons we've got for the Titan. 2 Perdition beams. We've got 8 level 2 kinetic artillery, 4 whirlwind missiles, 4 hangar bays, a lot of firepower. Now got dragon scale armor as well. So we've added that in all across our fleet, which gives us 31,000 armor. Dark matter shields, we've got 6 of them to give us over 10,000 shields. And I've gone for adding in 2 layers of living reactive armor, which you could do as well, adding in armor, living armor to your other ships earlier, because this is it's not a Fallen Empire tech, it's standard Empire tech, rather than running with the extra speed just to give you protection against those bypass weapons and disruptors. So this should help with the focused arc emitters and disruptors, missiles, torpedoes, all that type of stuff. We're going for the 5% ship rate firepower, which is the same as the other Titan, the standard Empire Titan. Artillery combat computers this time, not carrier, to keep our fleets a little bit closer into the fight. Everything else is pretty much as it was, and I have updated the other ships to dragon scale armor as well, and I have added in some living reactors to these designs as well, using artillery combat computer this time for the battlecruisers, not carrier. The torpedoes, and I actually didn't upgrade the armor on this one. I must have forgotten. Must have done the wrong ship. Oh well, run with what we got. See how it runs. Let's see how this battle turns out. It should be more even, because now we've got a bit more balanced fleet here.
We're under attack. Time to dance.
Erudition beams firing from the Titans. So we've lost 4 escorts already. 5. They're taking some losses on destroyers. They've lost a battleship. Escorts seem to be taking the losses at the moment. Dropping the firepower quite even. Lost a few cruisers. Look at that, 6, it was 62k. It seems to be dropping quite evenly at the moment. Let's just stop and see what the damage. Oh, they must have lost. They just lost some battle cruisers. Just dropped a lot. Doing the damage. Focus arc emitters still doing a lot of damage, and the devastator torpedoes. But focused arc emitters are by far doing the most damage to the hull. So that shows they are getting through, doing big hits. Then there's the small and medium phase disruptors. Devastator torpedoes doing a lot of damage to armor as expected. The Perdition beams are in second there. Kinetic artillery third. And yeah, kinetic artillery obviously doing a lot of damage to shields. Continue on. They're still going to lose this fight, are they? Yeah, looks like they've lost this fight. Okay, so they've retreated now. So they took quite a few losses. But our fleet is still victorious. We lost 1 corvette, 4 destroyers, 2, 3, 5, 10 cruisers in total, 4 battleships. So it's significantly more losses, but still 7,500 alloys versus 26,000 alloys. So they lost 3 battlecruisers and 11 escorts. So not really that heavier losses, really. But you can see how effective a well-rounded fleet is. Now, I have done this fight a few times, this fight here, and the Fallen Empire fleet can win this battle. So don't be surprised if you have a battle like this and a Fallen Empire does win. I think a lot depends on the Perdition beams hitting, because there's 12 of them firing from the battle cruisers. So if they hit enough of those battleships and cruisers early enough, then the battle swings in the Fallen Empire's favor, or the Crisis's favor. So keep that in mind when you're fighting. But just pay attention to how good well-rounded fleets have done against this Fallen Empire fleet. This fleet is out-teched and outgunned in terms of firepower and weapons. It's got better armor, better shields, better power. Their weapons are doing a bit more damage as well. So this fleet is outgunned massively, but in terms of the numbers and composition of the fleet, it's able to hold the day. It's also far more efficient in terms of alloys. So let's just have a look at fleet composition again so you can see it. So corvettes, destroyers, cruisers, battleships, Titan. The only thing that's missing from there is a frigate. So keep that in mind for your future battles. These types of well-mixed fleets seem to be doing very well and very efficient on alloys. So, and keep in mind the difficulty level for the future as well. You might be fighting on higher levels of difficulty, which means you might need 2 to 3 of these fleets to match one of these fleets in the future. There's also something else to consider too, which I'll show you. This is what I wanted to show you, that up to the fleet capacity of 240, which we can get up to 370 that we know of, which you probably will be as a Fallen Empire. You've probably got some admirals of those leader buffs or other buffs. I'm not exactly sure how if the Crisis gets special buffs on the admirals, they probably do. But even at capped at 240, this fleet is 688,000 with 120 escorts, so 3 times what we've seen in some of our battles. So you can imagine that they're going to do a lot more damage, and particularly when they've got the better tech as well. So keep that in mind when you're fighting the Crisis, that their fleets can be much, much larger than yours in terms of firepower. The numbers of ships they have, they're bringing that number of ships. I think that's going to be a pretty bad day. And if they have multiples of those fleets, you're going to start talking multiple millions of firepower against you, like a true Crisis. All right, now obviously there's a lot of variations we can do with the ship designs here. This is just the start, and this is just what I've just thought of for the beginning of these fights with some of these ship designs like this. You can use a whole different range of weapons like I've seen with other ships. This is just what I've seen on our Discord channel. Some people have put the design like this up. So I thought I would use it. And some of the Battlecruisers and Titan designs, just thought I'd go run with that. Plenty of more things we can try, so give me some comments on what you'd like to see with Fallen Empire weapons. I do want to use some more exotic weapons like nanites and some other types of weapons in the future as well, which you can probably use as Fallen Empire. All right, thanks for watching. Bye for now.